show you guys the truck bed. Don't judge me, it's a complete mess, but after you carry a stack of antlers out 6 miles, you pretty much just get to the truck, break down, and pack up to head home. What do you think, Cappy? Whoa. So this trip wasn't as good as last trip. I think I brought as many antlers home, but not the same quality. So let's climb up there and see what we got. And everything. Crazy, like the pack isn't that heavy when it's just the camping stuff, obviously without water and food. Because on the way out, you pretty much have neither of those. But when you have 6 to 8 antlers on, it really weighs you down. So this trip was all about the hard whites. I just never could figure out where the bulls shed this year. So this normally is I was in an area where normally I don't find bulls like this. I always find like the big mature bulls. So it's kind of funny to even find little tiny raghorns. Because I try to focus on, you know, big bull zones. So these 2 stacks were strapped to the pack. I had 8 on the pack out, and then the hike before that I had 2. And literally it was that one and this one. And the only reason I keep something like this is because I can lop that off right there and have a couple dog chews for my dogs. A nice hard white elk antler. So these, I want to remind you guys, I know I talked to them in the last video that I put up. These are going to be called shed straps. We teamed up with Ridge Belts. It's a company here in Utah. Some really good guys behind it. They make these, and we worked together to collaborate on some shed straps because I wanted to get some in gray, but I wanted to get some in orange as well. But what these do is just you can bundle your antlers together, and it makes it way tighter for packing them out so they're not all clinking around. But a couple things to look at is one hard white set right here. Just a little guy, but I glassed up the right side and went over there the next day and snagged it, crossed the canyon, looked back right where I walked, and boom, the other side was like 30 yards down the hill. So nice hard white set. Those are good for dog chews. 2 more hard white singles that I packed out were both 6 points. This one, and he actually kept his color pretty good. So nice and brown on the inside, kind of like a faded white on the outside. So that's a last year's antler. This is also a last year antler, kind of good on the inside, nice and brown. The burr got chewed up by some squirrels or other rodents. And then the outside is like a bone white. So I glassed this up. And when you glass up like a hard white, it usually is gonna have like a really bone white look, or maybe a faded bone white look. Chalk is gray. Like if you glass up something like super gray looking, you know that's gonna be chalk status. But this set was kind of funny because on the hike out, I looked up the hill. I had 3 on the pack, and I was headed down to camp just trying to navigate through some thick stuff. And I look up the hill and I see this antler just laying under a tree. And all I could see was the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Couldn't tell what the back end was, but I could tell it was a hard white. So I walked over there, and the other side was laying right by it. This would have been a pretty legit set if it wasn't all busted up. But his 5th is gone, his 2nd is busted off, 2nd on the left is busted, and then the whole main beam is broke after the royal. But this is also a hard white set. And the funny thing is, this one was in the open and it's chewed on just a little bit. This one was in a bush. And guys, when they're in the bush, I think the rodents just feel more comfortable and they feel safe inside like a bush or the cover of some brush, and they'll just chew and get after it even worse. So this one will also become dog chews. So that concludes this last trip. I've really been enjoying the GFC and the decked combo in the truck, but it's time to clean up, maybe get some rest, and I'll have to get after it when I can on the next trip, maybe a birthday trip. These guys are ready to cut. I think I have brought home 8 antlers each trip, so 16 made it home so far this year. Couple things I want to just mention if you made it this far. Thank you. 20% off everything Mountain Ops with code HUSH, and you guys can shop year-round with the code. So go take advantage of that. I'm using the Yeti and the creatine right now for a morning pre-workout. And a couple things I wanted to mention on the Hush channel. A new video has gone live today. If you're watching this on Sunday, a new shed hunting video has gone live. It's a solo trip. So go over to the Hushin channel. I always leave that in the description box to watch that. Here we go, off to the gym. Figured I'd throw the camera up on the little mount. We'll do a little truck talk and update on the way to the gym. So I'm in between shed hunts now. I've made 2 big pushes out shed hunting. The first one with Martin, the next one with my buddies Tanner and Cody. And then in addition to that, while I was down there, I did a couple days solo. Had fun on both trips, and I brought out 8 antlers on each trip. To admit that being out with people is more fun to me these last couple seasons. I've actually kind of craved, you know, having a buddy out there with me, and Martin's always super fun to go with, and he has always been super fun to go with because his drive, his ability, his physical capabilities, and he's just like me and younger. And he just wants to go hard, get in there, do work, and you know, never complains, never talks negative. So always have fun going with people. One thing I'm excited about, if you guys have been watching Shed Crazy, he's been doing what he called the United Sheds of America tour. This is the 3rd year that he's been working on this, and this year he only had 2 states to complete. I think it was Virginia and Louisiana. I could be wrong, but he's putting up updates quickly on his channel. So he's been into that project, you know, for 3 shed seasons now, and because of that, I've been, you know, mostly unable to link up with Ben to go shed hunting with him. So I'm looking forward to him finishing that beast so we can get out and hit the hills, and hopefully he's hungry to find some elk sheds instead of all those whitetail sheds he's been picking up. But it's pretty cool to see Ben, you know, put his head down and focus on that for 3 years, which leads me to a project that I have going on for myself, which will be on the Hush channel this year. And I kind of teased it on one of my personal videos that was called why taking your dreams, or what did I say? Why, I don't know, it's one of the videos on my channel that's why chasing your dreams sucks, or something like that, or taking your dreams to reality sucks. That video is on my channel, just like a quick whiteboard video. But I told you guys that I had a project in mind for me this year that I'm striving to do and complete. And if everything comes together, there is a chance that that one is done by August. So I'm keeping it a secret, but I do want to let you guys know there's a big project coming your way. And for me to complete this in 1 year would be unreal. And it's unheard of because I've never even heard of anybody actually completing it. I haven't hardly heard of anybody actually trying to complete it. So it is kind of random, but I think those of you who enjoy me out shed hunting and hiking and kind of these adventure trips, I think you guys are going to enjoy this project. But so with that said, step 1 of that is to go looking, and I think I'm going to do that this week with old Matty Ice and possibly Shed Crazy. We're going to go, you know, scouting for this project for my birthday. So my birthday is on April 1st. It's on a Tuesday this year, and every year for my birthday I always love to be out shed hunting. I've done that since I was a kid. I remember there's a couple times where I had work, I had a job, and they would not let me off for my birthday to go shed hunting. So I would just quit, literally. if the boss was like, yeah, you can't go, I'm like, all right, deuces, I quit. I'm going shed hunting on my birthday. I don't recommend that for all you youngsters, but I don't know, I guess sometimes you got to chase your dreams and do what makes you happy, and being out in the woods and shed hunting is always my favorite thing to do for my birthday. So that's that. Let me give you a quick update on the fitness stuff and the animal-based diet. So January 1st, I committed to 8 weeks animal-based diet. I didn't even have a cheat meal for 8 weeks straight. The worst thing I possibly ate in that 8 weeks was maybe some type of teriyaki spicy sauce at the Korean barbecue grill, and some of the food may have been cooked in, you know, some type of oil or seed oils. But for 8 weeks, I ate meat, eggs, dairy, rice, sweet potato, and some sourdough bread. I really cut back on the sourdough bread the first 8 weeks, but since it's been over, like through the month of March, I've pounded sourdough bread pretty heavy. And I think when it comes to what I'd like to change right now, moving forward, is probably just to lower the carb intake. And I'm keeping them high because I am going on these big shed hunting trips and I really need to be fueled during them. But when I'm home, I think I need to cut back on carbs. So today's day one of doing that, because last night I had sushi for my birthday. So pounded 5 sushi rolls full of white rice. But I love the diet because it's just so simple. It takes a lot of guesswork out of everything. I don't weigh anything. I just eat the right food. So fruit, dairy, meat, and some carbs. So I'm going to continue with that. And I have been doing that even on my backcountry trips. I actually made myself some homemade, I should say home packaged dehydrated meals with dehydrated beef, dehydrated butter, some hush seasonings, and then I add a cup of rice. And those have been keeping me full while I'm out in the backcountry, in addition to all beef hot dogs. And again, super easy to do. The cravings for junk food is completely gone. The only thing I absolutely crave so much is ice cream and milkshakes. So to curve that, I've got a Ninja Creamy at home, and I've just froze some Mountain Ops protein with milk, and I can whip that up into like a creamy frozen dessert, add a couple berries, and probably be fulfilled. But that's it for the fitness stuff. It's gym time right now. It's shoulder day. It's my favorite day because it's one of my weak points. So let's go hit the gym, and I'll catch up with you guys after. Check this out, guys. The wild game freezer with some beef hot dogs and some frozen water bottles for the cooler. But we got to do some organizing in here. So the goal today is to organize all this meat. As you can see, I've kind of got it organized because the last time I picked up elk from my buddy Andy, I went through and made shelf per shelf like certain cuts of meat. So the top is actually breakfast sausage in both home style and maple flavor, and then this was the burger, the ground. So you can see ground elk, there's none left because this whole bag is actually dog food. So that bag is dog food. We've got 2 ground elk, and then down here as you move down, I have a bunch of different roasts, backstrap, and here we got some whitetail and some cuts that are kind of raw, and I also have scrap I saved for the dogs. Today I'm going to go through this and really detail it and get anything that I'm not going to eat, like the stuff that's like not quite all the way processed yet. Like there's some axis deer in here that are just quarters in chunks. I'm going to take it all to Andy and have him grind it into burger, because with this animal-based diet that I was talking about, I mow through burger like you wouldn't believe. So I've got to restock as much burger as possible. Look at these 2 pups, happy. They are stoked. I split them a bone. Jade's like expert level on the bone marrow. She gets that out quick. Huh, Jade? Can we see it? Let's see it. Yeah, she got most of it out, but yeah, there's still plenty. So they're having fun with those. They were frozen. They like to start them frozen. Keep them busy for a while and give them something different than an antler chew anyways. Let's give you guys a look at this thing. Chuck full. Some of this is dog food down here, but that is chuck full. All right, I've got a little bit of daylight and time in between doing chores. So I'm going to cut a few antlers for dog chews. I try to keep the momentum going, cut a few every now and then, but it's easy to kind of get behind. So what should we cut up today? We've got some decisions to make. I've got a bunch of nice hard whites, a bunch of browns, both gorgeous chocolate brown. We'll cut you.